is Anita Nihel Anjoni Kuslomboyi. I am 15 years old and I'm a final year student in Gdss Shagari, Yola town. When I leave here, I would like to become a lawyer, and this is my school.
This is Government Day Secondary School Shagari Quarters, Yola Town, Adamawa State. Established in 1992, the school was rated as one of the best in the Yola metropolis. 30 years after, pictures of the school surface on social media. Decayed infrastructure, insufficient furniture for students, and a fluid school compound open to intruders and impeding the control of the highly mobile students. On this day, we are visiting Gdss Shagari to ascertain the true situation of things compared to what was seen on social media. We arrived at the school premises in the morning, just in time for the school assembly. The assembly over, students disperse to their classes. We take a tour of the classrooms and the school environment. It turns out the structures are worse than what the viral pictures portrayed. Roofless classrooms, broken windows and doors, and an obsolete multipurpose science laboratory and equally bad staff rooms. This is the condition under which the students will have to learn. In our quest for truth and answers, we invite Abubakar Saidu, an alumnus and a pioneer student of the school.
Government Day Secondary School Shagari was the envy of everybody. Everybody wants to be in Government Day Secondary School Shagari. This is my class, as I said earlier. We were 27, 28 in this class. But gone are the days.
Which one decided this?
Learning must be hard in an environment like this. With minimal yet bad furniture, learning is only possible in the dry season. When the rains come, how the staff and students get by can only be imagined. This is the only government-owned community secondary school for children living in Shagari and environs. Parents who cannot afford private schools naturally opt to enroll their wards here. Anita is a finalist in Gdss Shagari. The school is a walking distance for her and most of her schoolmates. It's a maximum of 10 minutes walk from her home, knocking off the need to pay transport fare from the family budgets. But that's the only advantage parents leverage on. The teachers are passionate about their job, but for the students, it's hard to concentrate.
There are some students who don't stay in class and they roam about, they go everywhere. So they do make the school noisy. So for those that don't know how to concentrate when a place is quiet, it's very hard. One of the things that I want the government to do is that they should fence the school. They should fence the school, and also they should renovate some of the classes. For some of the classes, they are very bad. The doors, windows, and bench also is not okay and it's not comfortable. So I want to call on the government to come and help us in this particular sector.
Parents are not unaware of the condition of Gdss Shagari, but their options are limited, especially since tuition is almost free.
I would have loved if the government can able to fence the place. Because there is an instant of a time that I went there and I saw some hoodlums came and they were disturbing the students to the extent that they are chasing them. So I would have loved them if the government can able to assist us, maybe to fence that place.
The decay continues year in, year out. Governments have come and gone, and despite outcries and appeals, the school remains untouched. But this is not without repercussions.
We are calling on government. Today I want to call on government to please turn around and see some of this school that it has established, so that their efforts will not go to waste. Because in the next few years, if nothing is done in Gdss Shagari, for example, in fact, it will be a shadow of itself. Okay, what has government done? You have established a school, and because you have failed to maintain the school, you have brought it down to its knees, to the extent that it will collapse. Okay, when it collapses, are you going to leave it as it is? What will you tell the community? Are you going to leave it as it is, or you will now close down the school? Okay, if you close down the school, what will you tell the community? How will the community look at you?
Listing the school as a center for the West African Examination Council certificate examination is no longer justifiable. Lack of furniture and exam hall, functional and standard laboratories among other facilities required defeats the aim of the examination. Exit students of Gdss Shagari may have to find another school with these facilities to write their final examinations. Those offering science subjects such as physics, chemistry and biology can only learn the theoretical aspects of these subjects.
Well, when the branch controller came, when the last students that wrote the exam, they check our lab. You know, this is one of the things that they normally check when we are doing science in the school. And then the lab is multi-purpose. The physics is there, the chemistry is there, the biology is there. So they want the lab to be separated, because they even told us that if we cannot have the lab to be expanded and separated, we may not register more than 50 students for science this year, 2022. And this is because we don't have classes where we can move and separate the labs to be separate on their own. So we just put them in one place, and they say we have to separate them. If not, we cannot register more than 50 candidates for science. And we have many students that are doing the science.
The Commissioner of Education, Mrs. Wilbina Jackson, rebuffed attempts to interview her on the bad infrastructure, hanging up calls on us. After several visits to her office, we leave evidence of our findings at the ministry, pictures we had taken of the school. The Adamawa state government this year, in its appropriation bill, plans to expend 4.2 billion naira for education, which represents just 2.5% of the total budget. Last year, 14 billion naira was allocated for the same purpose, but the Gdss Shagari did not gain the government's attention. The students must now bear the impact of government's negligence. No final year examination this year, intrusion by outsiders, poor learning environment, unmotivated teachers, and the attendant consequences is the price that the students must pay.